One of the most quoted cases in tax law history is a decision by Judge Learned Hand of the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, who said the following: "Anyone may arrange his affairs so that his taxes shall be as low as possible. He is not bound to choose that pattern which best pays the Treasury. There is not even a patriotic duty to increase one's taxes. Over and over again, the courts have said that there is nothing sinister in so arranging affairs as to keep taxes as low as possible. Everyone does it, rich and poor alike, and all do right, for nobody owes any public duty to pay more than the law demands." What you're about to see in a few short minutes are several business owners who decided to follow the wise advice of Judge Learned Hand and utilize the vast experience of our tax attorneys to minimize their taxes within the bounds of the law.
When the analyst first came in to talk to us and shared with us the tax illustrations as far as what the capabilities these folks could do for a small company, I was in total shock. I turned to our Chief Financial Officer and said, this truly is a holy grail moment, not only for us, but for small businesses throughout the country. We can now work with a team of professionals that can help save us money, which has only been afforded to larger corporations in the past with significant financial resource to do these types of things. Today we can do it with small business dollars, get the job done, which enables us to not only sustain ourselves, but grow significantly in the future.
The reason I contacted your company, at the end of the year I was presented with a several $100,000 tax bill from my accountant. I then realized that my tax accountant was way over his head. So I contacted your tax specialists within your company. They came out, analyzed my books, and realized that my accountant wasn't taking certain tax deductions and tax benefits for production and manufacturing for an excavation company, along with several other tax benefits that pretty much wiped out the tax debt that he said that I owed. Another thing that my accountant did wrong is he miscategorized certain transactions as retail instead of wholesale, costing me on the average of $10,000 a month that I did not owe.
As you can probably tell, we had to do a lot of research and development to design these electronic instruments. And my CPA in particular, reviewing our taxes, never really took advantage of what we call an R&D tax credit. They said it was too much hassle. But the tax attorneys that I brought in specifically, it was like having an all-star team. There was over 10 of them that reviewed it and said, no, we will help you set up a complete R&D tax credit. And they went back and filed previous year's taxes, and we were able to get refunds of tens of thousands of dollars on previous tax returns that will continue on. And that money allows us to hire more engineers to develop new products.
One of the many things we found out through the consultants was that there's over 80,000 laws in the IRS system, and no one certified public accountant knows them all. Thereby bringing in, not only helping correct our accounting system, they also brought in some tax consultants that helped us to identify some deductions and credits that we was missing on our tax forms, thereby collecting tens of thousands of dollars in returns.
So when the tax guys showed up, we started talking about how you save money on taxes. One way is you play in the gray areas, which invites a tax audit. And the other way is you do black and white things that you might be unaware of. For example, meal credits if you work over 8 hours a day, and board meeting credits if you have meetings in your house. R&D credits, which in my case added up to about $80,000 I wasn't aware of, and now I am. So when we began to talk in detail, it was pointed out that accountants and lawyers do what they do every day, but they don't do what we do. And they're just not knowledgeable of all these things. So you may have to get a new accountant, or you may can use your own accountant to implement these strategies as long as they can think innovatively with you. I decided to engage my accountant, and she was actually energized by the concept, and it's been a good thing. It also helped and simplified the refiling of the previous tax years because she filed them for the last 3 years. So it was a good thing.
At one point we brought Kimberly Mariani in. She's a tax attorney for the company, and she set us up with a whole tax plan, and she saved us over $100,000 with her plan. She also did an asset protection plan, which keeps my company safe in case something was to happen. Kimberly's great to work with. She's very intelligent and she's really, really a nice lady.
Our tax advisor Julius had came in and he had talked to us about cost segregation, which is an accelerated depreciation. And so that is something we implemented. We got a tax saving of $70,000 by just doing that. And we would not have known about that if we just relied on our normal CPA. And as well, while Julius was here, he talked to us about our asset protection, and our trucks make us our money, that asset. And so there's layers of protection that we can do, so if an accident does happen, that we don't lose our business that we have worked so hard on building up.
One of the things James did was he brought in a tax attorney. He was immediately able to save me over $80,000 by showing me things that my own CPA was not aware of.
Another thing we did, we brought in one of your tax experts. We went from 1 entity to 5 for asset protection, and at the end of the day, saved over $100,000 in taxes.
Now, we recognize at this point that having a company such as STA, a nationally known company, involved with our company was going to be of benefit for us, and we did realize significant tax savings. With the tax savings, we were able to purchase this press brake, which not only allowed us to clear up our backlog, it makes us more productive and more competitive, which at the end of the day, of course, puts more money in our pocket.
Before Kimberly arrived, we were focused on the day-to-day operations, meeting deadlines, getting parts out the door, and really the business was running us instead of us running the business. But after their team came and we implemented their suggestions, we have peace of mind now.
With the help and education that we receive from STA, we feel confident about the future of our business.